Hello everyone, this is Andrew at Crown Academy of English. Today we are doing a lesson about time expressions and we're going to look at the words for and since. I have been in London for 3 days. I have been in London since Monday. So these are the two words that we are going to look at in today's lesson. And we use for and since to talk about time. So in this lesson, I explain the rules and the difference. And I advise you to watch all of the video and then do the quiz at the end. So it's very important that you follow and learn the rules during the lesson before you do the quiz. For defines a period of time in the past, present, or the future. So what is very important is that we use a period of time with the word for. It describes a duration of time. And it means from the start of the period to the end of the period. So the form is for followed by a period of time. And we use for with all of the verb tenses, with all of them. So we can use it with the past, present, or the future. Let's look at some examples. He reads for 2 hours every day. So this is the present simple. Today, the students are reading for 30 minutes. The present continuous. Mark lived in London for 6 months. This is the past simple. We will visit Spain for 2 weeks. Will visit is the future simple. Jane has worked here for 10 years. Has worked is the present perfect. So for 10 years, for, followed by a period of time, 10 years, 2 weeks, 6 months, 30 minutes. He has been living in London for several months. This in fact is the present perfect continuous. Has been living. And the final example, I had studied French for 5 years. So this is the past perfect. So very important, for followed by a period of time, and we can use for with all tenses, past, present, or the future. So what are the periods of time? Well, here are some examples. 10 seconds, 20 minutes, half an hour, 3 hours. For a week, for a fortnight. Fortnight is a period of 2 weeks. For 3 weeks, for 2 months. For 3 years, for a decade, for a century. A decade is 10 years, and a century is 100 years. So these are all examples of periods of time that we can use with the word for. Now let's look at since. Since defines a point in time in the past. A point in time in the past. So this is different. This is a specific moment in time. Since in fact, gives us the starting point. It defines when things started. And so it means from a point of time in the past until now, until the present. So the form is since followed by a point in time from the past. And we usually use since with the perfect tenses. So we do not use since with all of the tenses. Examples. He has been watching TV since 7 p.m. So here is the present perfect continuous. My parents have lived in London since 1996. This is the present perfect, have lived. So again, notice this is since followed by a specific point in time. Here it is a year, 1996. Here it is a time, 7 p.m. She had been asleep since the day before. This is the past perfect. So the day before, again, this is a point in time. It's not a period, it's a point in time. Mark had been writing a book since 2010. So this is the past perfect continuous. So 2010, this is a point in time, in the past. So let's look at some examples for points in time. Since 8 o'clock, 9 a.m., 10 p.m., midday, midnight. Since this morning, this afternoon, yesterday, the day before yesterday, since Monday. Since last Tuesday, last week, last month, last year, last summer. Since 5 minutes ago, 2 days ago, 3 weeks ago, a few years ago. These are all examples of possible points in time that we can use with since. Since 2010. So we can use years. And we can even use clauses. So these are all clauses. And notice how the tense, the verb tense, is in the past simple, because we are talking about a specific point in time in the past. Since I moved to London. Since I left university. Since I became a teacher. These are all valid points in time. Let's look at some common mistakes. For and since can both be used with perfect tenses, because we saw that the word for we can use with all of the tenses, and since we usually use it only with the perfect tenses. But the form is not the same. Remember, for must be followed by a period of time. He has been in New York for 2 days. So this is correct because we are using, this is the present perfect, and we are using for followed by a period of time. But this is wrong. He has been in New York since 2 days. This is a period of time, but we cannot use since with a period of time. So this is wrong. Since must be followed by a point in time. He has been in New York since Tuesday. This is correct. But this is wrong. He has been in New York for Tuesday. No, this is wrong. If we are using a point in time, for example, Tuesday, we must not use for. We must use since. So this is a common mistake. And a second common mistake, well, the rule is to describe a period of time up to the present, we use either the present perfect or the present perfect continuous. Okay? But we do not use the present tense. So we are describing, this is for the situation when we describe a period of time up until the present. We do not use the present tense. Example, he has been a musician for 30 years. So this is correct. We are using the present perfect to describe a period of time up until the present. In the present, he is still a musician. He's still alive. But this is wrong. He is a musician for 30 years. This is not correct. We do not use the present tense to describe a period of time in the past and up to the present. We can also say the same thing using since. He has been a musician since 1986. This is correct. We are using the present perfect tense, and we are using since followed by a point in time. But this is wrong. He is a musician since 1986. This is not correct. Okay? This is a very, very common mistake with English students. And the reason is because in many European languages like French, Spanish, and I think Italian, that those languages do use the present tense for this situation. Let's look at another example. I have been writing for 3 hours. This is correct. We are using here the present perfect continuous followed by for with a period of time. But this is wrong. I am writing for 3 hours. We do not use the present tense to describe a period of time up to the present. And with the word since, with a point in time, then this is correct. I have been writing since 6 o'clock. I am writing since 6 o'clock. No, this is wrong. And again, this is a very, very common mistake with English students. And this is a big mistake. This is a very big mistake. So you have to stop. You have to stop doing this. I hear this every day from my students, and it is a big mistake. Common mistake, but a big mistake. Okay? Quiz. So, an example question. How long have you been working at Microsoft? And we have two choices of how we answer this question. Choice number one, we can answer the question with the word since. I have been working at Microsoft since 2013. Or we can answer the question with the word for. I have been working at Microsoft for 3 years. So for followed by a period of time, and since followed by a point in time. So both of these are correct. So the question that I want you to answer: how long have you been studying English? And I want you to answer the question with the word since and also with the word for. And question 2, how long have you been living in your city? And again, I want you to answer the question with the word since, and then answer the question with the word for. And I would like you to write your answers in the comments below this video, and then I will correct you. So if you write the answers in the comments, I will correct your answers. Okay? So there we are. That is the end of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. And here are some other lessons which you might be interested in. Bye-bye.